Well, yeah, and I've got a strong. I've got an opinion about that, which I will
Yeah.
save as my trump card.
Boo-Foons, mystery investigators.
Off the case.
Welcome to Boo-Foons Off the Case. Yes, it's Saturday. It's time for one of our sort of different shows. I'm Dan.
Hello, Steve.
And I don't know where that random introduction that I just came up
Yeah.
with came from.
I was thinking when you said different, do you mean like as in special needs shows?
Well,
this is the different one. Just be a bit kind with him. be kind with us this time.
yeah. Nice reference to Boo-Foons Off the Case, the museum misadventure. If you didn't listen to that one, go back and listen to that one.
And from now on, I forgot you got to refer to you as Joey the whole time. So he's Joey. What was Joey Deacon's friend called? Oh, what was he? It was Ernie or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's a very dated reference for those of you that are Steve's age. For the rest of you, go and Google Joey Deacon.
Ernie, that's it. I'm Ernie, and you're Joey.
Normally, it takes a few more minutes into an episode for us to get to the point where you've said something, and I don't know how to respond.
Well, I could have said it like Joey would have said it, and you wouldn't have known how to respond unless you were Ernie.
Oh, yeah.
He was iconic back in the day. Yeah. Oh man, as iconic as you are at a Doctor Who exhibition, at a castle, or St. Fagans, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Fagans. Was it right? Was it Fagans or Bagends? The museum.
Fagans. Fagans. It's
Okay,
named.
So
it's because that's the little village that it's in.
Okay, I thought that was the LGBT Lord of the Rings where you got Bilbo Fagans.
Gives a whole new meaning to the One Ring.
Oh, can I put my finger in that? No, yes, you will disappear if you put your finger in there, Bilbo.
Oh dear. Oh yeah. Well,
so far insulted special needs and LGBT community. What next? Islam.
And all I've had to do is just sit here. It's great.
Whilst I dig a deeper every time I open my mouth.
Yeah, it's a good job that we're not big A-list celebrities, isn't it? Because you've now got completely cancelled. Like Hollywood have now kicked you out. You know.
I'll never make a film again.
Oh dear.
But then that's the beauty of social media.
It is the beauty of social media, and that's what we're sort of going to talk about today.
You're cancelled.
Yeah, very quickly.
Don't bother talking about it anymore. You're cancelled. No one's going to be listening. That's the end of the episode.
Yeah. All you've got to do is make a couple of controversial opinions. Like, I will admit, the ones on social media that get me are the ones whenever anything political happens, and it's not people sharing their political views. It's not that. It's when people go, if you support X, please remove yourself from my newsfeed because I don't like you. It's like, when did we get to a point where grown-ups cannot just be friends despite having opposing views? I'm friends with several people who have opposing views to me. On my social media feed, I've got people that are vegans and vegetarians and will post stuff about being a vegan and being a vegetarian, and will post things about, oh, if you eat meat, you're a murderer, and we'll put things like that. But I don't go, oh, I'm going to unfriend them because my feelings are hurt because I'm eating a delicious steak right now. I don't do that, and vice versa. I wouldn't expect people to end up
I stopped following you when I found out you got Morris dancers as friends.
I did wonder why your profile disappeared.
Yeah. Next thing I know, you got a mime as a buddy. Walking with clown shoes on. No wonder I don't follow you anymore.
All I'm doing is just building up a good group of people to bring to your funeral.
My favorite, can you imagine? The whole place is full up with Morris dancers and clowns.
Yeah. Yeah, there'll be a clown going around anyone that's crying, and they pull out those handkerchiefs that are never ending. A mime laying at the front, mimicking being in the coffin. Doing
trapped
the
in the coffin, trapped in the glass coffin, staying in his back. But I did tell you to know that I know somebody now who also is related to Morris dancers, literally related to Morris dancers. His parents are actually featured on the Wikipedia page talking about Morris dancers.
Oh, wow.
They're that big.
Anyway, while you're fond of that, you said about social media. Obviously, if you're not following us on social media, we are on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Nobody really follows us on Twitter. Please go and follow us on Twitter. You do.
Yes, anyway, I know what we're doing.
Yeah, Blue Sky, we're on there. Not many people follow us on there either. TikTok, that's our big one. Loads of people follow us on TikTok and comment on TikTok. Sometimes we do lives on TikTok as well. So social media, we know all about it. Our faces are all over our social media pages for Boo-Foons Mystery Investigators, and clips regularly come out. I see a lot in the news, especially with things like the social media ban that went through that. The government are still pushing.
I'm just going to butt in and say it's not about social media control. It's not about child safety. It's about control and digital ID and knowing exactly what we're looking at.
Amongst this, because they are dressing it up with social media is bad. It's really bad for you. And I have also seen a few celebrities remove themselves from social media, quoting negative mental health. And a lot of it is to do with people messaging them back about some of their controversial opinions. And obviously
working for the BBC, which obviously it would, I remember when Jimmy Savile took himself off the social media.
Yeah. And a lot of things
Hugh Edwards, they all did it. They all left social media. I don't know how. It's affecting my mental health. Okay, Hugh. Yeah. Sorry, yes, mental health.
So some nicer celebrities who are not like those horrible people have also said we're no longer on social media because it's very negative and it impacts my mental health. And I also know a few people who have removed social media accounts because they've said, it was negatively impacting me. That's why I don't have it anymore. And I also know some people that don't have it because of the privacy thing. They don't want their information to be out there, which fair enough. So I thought we could go through some of the things about social media, starting with the negatives, and then we'll talk about some that actually there can be some positives to it.
Well, you're going to talk about the negatives and the positives. I just want to say I can't talk about negatives. I've not had any negatives. So, well, no, actually, that's a lie. I did have a negative once. I will tell you about that one day. Maybe today. Maybe in a few minutes after you start talking about the negatives.
Yeah, well, I've got a list here. So all of the notes that I've got here have been compiled from World Health Organization.
We can trust them.
Yeah, several things to do with children, teenagers. Some of it has come from mental health charities. Some of it has come from neurodivergent charities. For example, I've got the big autism charity within the UK. There's some there. Action for Children. Basically, loads of different sources, including some bits from the NHS as well, and some other health-related things. So the notes that I've compiled have come from a wide cross-section, including some parental forums and also some adult mental health stuff as well. anxiety, depression, and stress. So it's been reported that that social media users that use it a lot tend to say that they have higher psychological distress, including symptoms of anxiety and depression. The excessive scrolling can trigger feelings of inadequacy, dissatisfaction, and isolation.
Right. Okay. So that's just stupid. Right. On so many different levels. It's a feeling of isolation because most people these days, especially young people, tend not to go outside anymore because they went through lockdown or they've been told the world is not safe. The world is ending. Greenhouse gases and basically too much carbon. The sea levels are rising, which they're not quite clearly. And all the other stuff they're told, they're not going to have any money. You're not going to survive. You're not worth anything. Your country's useless. Everything. And then it's the social media that's making them. No, this is what you've been told by the establishment for the last 40 years.
Yeah.
And that knocks down, that goes from parent to child to parent to child, and it carries on, and it just gets worse because there's no let up from the government and the World Health Organization and everybody else who's writing these reviews. They've told us all this stuff. So a whole generation is feeling anxiety just by being alive, nothing to do with social media. Yes, they're indoors because they're not outdoors. It's not, and also people who don't go outside tend to be suffering from anxiety anyway, and they don't know how to mix outside. They may have all these other mental health, neurological, neurodiverse issues, which mean they stay at home because we've seen a huge rise in things like autism and Asperger's and all those different and all other ones as well. So they tend to stay home and sit on social media. So it's not the social media that's causing it. These are people who suffer from these things who happen to be on social media, and that is the new evil. This is social media is destroying the world. No, it's not. Governments are destroying the world.
1 hour later.
Right, I'm back. I missed that entire rant. I went to the toilet during that. Hopefully that was interesting for the listeners.
No, it just frustrates me that everything is playing. Do you know, it used to be rock and roll music. Before that, it was comics, and it was film, and it was TV, and it was Beethoven's Fifth, and it was all, every generation has something that is blamed, but it's not. It's the greater society that is the problem, and they're just looking at something easy to blame. And of course, social media means you can control social media, you can control people's brains, and you can put in what you want, and that's all what this is about.
So you've covered a few things there. So obviously I was joking. I did listen to what I was here. You saw I was here. I just wanted to make a joke.
Yeah.
But so going down some of the things that you said there. So you said about not going outside. Now, all mental health things say big thing: go outside, explore nature.
Yeah.
Now, why do they say that? Partly because the body needs vitamin D, and vitamin D is produced in the body naturally by being in sunlight. So, and there has been a link between vitamin D deficiency and feeling down and low and that sort of thing. So, yes, of course, you're going to feel, like you said, if you're indoors all day looking at a screen, you are naturally going to feel more depressed and anxious than anyone else. Now,
and of course, we live in a country that has 7 months a year which are under cloud or rain.
Yeah.
So there's 7 months a year where we can't, like other countries where people can go out because it's sunny all year round. We don't have that here. Also, so many people live in cities. They have no nature to walk around in. They've just got the streets are going to get knifed in. What can you do? I mean, when I used to live in North London, you just walk you might find a park that hasn't been built on, if you're lucky. Otherwise, they're all housing estates. What are you going to do? You're going to risk getting run over just to go for a walk in the park, or then you're going to get mugged.
Yeah. You also said about people that already have these conditions and mental health issues using social media. Now, obviously, social media algorithms and terms of service for using things like, any social media thing, they do use things like your search history and your cookies and all of that for targeted advertising. Now, I can certainly remember when I was at my absolute lowest, because I had gone to Google to try and find support and where do I get help from? Because I've now identified this can't continue. I need help. Obviously, all of those cookies and tracking history get soaked up by the social media platforms. What are most of the adverts I'm getting? Stuff about counseling, stuff about depression, stuff about, you've got dark thoughts, this, that, and the other. And as I went through my social media feeds, I was ending up feeling very depressed, more depressed than I was, sort of thing. It wasn't alleviating anything because, due to the way the algorithms and the social media apps work, I was naturally seeing more of it. And also, you've got that factor as well of you pay more attention to those things. So they could have already been there anyway. I'm just paying more attention to them because of that point in time. So yes, that is the thing. Interestingly,
this is why my social media is filled with Lego.
Yeah.
Nothing at all to do with paranormal or mysteries, just all Lego.
Yeah, I will admit a lot of my social media is it's now getting to the point where it's now targeting me very accurately of, like you said, Lego. Yeah. Here's a new Lego set. Here's some, and more recently, trains. So I'm
I can see that.
Yeah, I sent you a TikTok video the other day of the tram lines where I grew up that that came up on my For You page. So these algorithms are a thing that do work. Sleep disruption. Increased social media use is strongly associated with poor sleep quality, especially in adolescence. Late night phone use contributes to later bedtimes and reduced sleep, impacting well-being and academic performance. Now, I don't think that's a problem with social media as such, apart from, the fact that they are designed to endlessly scroll. So it's designed to keep you engaged as long as possible. I think that's just poor self-management of, I need to put my phone down now.
Yeah. I mean, I have very bad sleep patterns because of pain. So I've got this nerve damage, which is a real pain, literally. And that keeps me awake at night. But I don't go on social media. I think people tend to, before social media, I was one of those people who just couldn't really do much work during the day. My best working hours were at night. I would do my art, my teletext, I'd do my website design, whatever I was doing, everything I was being creative, it was done at night because that's the time I could work best. And if I wasn't doing that, I was playing games, like friends would be around, we'd be playing Bomberman until 4 a.m. Just, it would be out watching films, going to the cinema. Everything happens at night. Nothing happens in the daytime. So again, blame is social media. It's just something somebody would pick up if they can't get to sleep and they'll scroll. It's not the thing. I don't think it keeps them awake. I think it's just something you go to. Again, another excuse to blame it for something it's not.
Yeah. So next one, cyberbullying and online harm. 7 in 10 people have reported experiencing cyberbullying. Exposure to online hate speech is associated with higher PTSD symptom severity. Now, bullying has always been a thing. It's just moved from being face-to-face to now online.
Yeah. What's the difference? Nothing.
Yeah. The only difference,
I'll tell you what the difference is. Yeah. The only difference is people are now sensitive. Everything is counted as bullying. Saying somebody is fat and lazy back in the old days was a fact. Now it's you're bullying me. I wonder how many people listened to this and thought he's having a go at me. But I'm just saying it because I'm fat and lazy. That's why I'm saying it.
You see, the main thing for me with the cyberbullying is historically when it was face to face, you just stopped going to that park that those people always went to. Nowadays, you've got them on your phone, which you could just click block to.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can also click report as well on most social media forums.
So there's now Kick, and a lot of people are now moving over to Kick.
Kick.
Basically, people are now moving over to it because they don't get they can get away with saying more things that TikTok would ban them for. So it's that whole thing of fair enough, ban TikTok, but then the next thing comes out. So
Kick, that's that's like a Twitch streaming service that sort of that was into the real dodgy. Everything's promoted by gambling. I think it's run by a gambling multi-billionaire or multi-billionaire. I think he
Yes.
created it. But that's what's going to happen when the government wants to have tighter restrictions on social media. New ones will pop up. You can't control it. Even if you get everybody's IP address and you start locking people up for what they're looking at, which is what's going to happen eventually, people will just introduce new things which will be able to sneak by underneath the carpet. You won't even need IP address. The developers are clever. And you're pushing people away from the established ones by saying all this social media is evil. So now it's going to be the Wild West out there.
Yeah.
People going on the dark web, they'll all know where to look.
Yeah, but though people have been doing that for ages, and the thing is, the last event I went to was run by the police about this whole sort of thing. It was basically, if you can imagine a backdoor of getting into these things, it already exists. Nobody is going to create anything new because all of these things already exist. You can now get apps that, well, they've been available for ages. You can get apps which, for example, you can use to hide photos. So it looks like a calculator. You open it up, it works as a calculator. You then know what password to put in, whether it's a very specific sum or a very specific string of numbers, and it then unlocks the photo gallery. That photo gallery is hidden on your phone, and the only way you can access it is through this very specific app. That already exists. There's a million different versions of that exist. These social media platforms, people just end up going, oh, I've been banned on that one. Oh, I've got this one now that's a bit different.
But they're still saying for children, parents should really be telling them how to use, the parents should be using the safety features and teaching kids not to use it. That's all they should have done in the first place, is just, made sure parents could easily tell their children what to watch out for.
Yeah.
And how to use, parental controls on your kids' phones. They're saying just do that as well, but we're also going to spy on you and make sure you can't get on anything without us knowing what it is. This is coming to a rant, isn't it? This isn't what you want to talk about at all. But,
no, and it was that whole thing of I said, let's record something quick, and
yeah.
So anyway,
never going to be quick, this one.
That me being exasperated is going to sound so funny when this has all been cut down to a 5-minute segment.
Did I tell you about my negative experience on social media?
You did not.
I did have one negative experience. A few years ago, I was doing a lot of teletext, art, that is. And there's a certain individual, who I will not name, who thinks he has a license for all these retro games characters. All these old-fashioned 1980s, 1990s, even, games characters. He thinks he owns them. He doesn't. And what he does is, if anyone does anything with any of those characters, he then demands money, as far as, I'm going to sue you, or you're going to pay me hundreds and hundreds of pounds. Looking up at it, he doesn't actually have anything, and he's been doing it for years. He's been basically demanding money from all these people with legal letters and all this stuff. I decided I'm not going to do this. I just done a teletext picture of an old Spectrum game character. He doesn't own the character. This is my representation. I've done it. I'm not going to pay him. Send me all these letters. You're going to sue you for this. You're going to pay me like $2,500 for doing this picture. I said, I'm not making money from it. This is just a picture. Anyway, I was getting all this evidence about him, getting all the, what he's doing, how much money he actually has, does he actually own, how many people he's doing this to. And there was a certain individual on the retro game circuit who helped me out, gave me some advice. I don't pay any attention to any of the politics, any of the things that goes on behind the scenes. All I knew is I did pictures because people like them. And, that's all I want to do. Pictures because people like them. Don't care about anything else. I mean, I've got friends who are in sort of the retro game scene, and they're, a lot of YouTubers and things like that. But again, I don't pay any attention to what's happening. But apparently this guy, right, so I said, I posted on Twitter, thank you very much to so-and-so for helping me out here. Because I've just replied, this guy's not replying to me anymore. He's given up. He's lost. If I've got all the evidence, his Discord group you can join. We can all get together. You don't pay him anything. I've got all this information. Anyway, I thank this particular person. This particular person had been in some sort of controversy where he had been like cyberbullying somebody and been quite unpleasant to somebody. Of course, I didn't know. I don't pay any attention. But because I said, thank you so much for all your help. I couldn't have done it without you. All of a sudden, people wanted to cancel me. Now, I only found this out because I was just signing a book deal with a publisher to put all my teletext art in a book about teletext art. And we were signing the contracts. I said no about taking money up front. I said, we'll just do it when we sell the book. I should have said yes because I could have kept it. But then he messaged me to say, I'm afraid I can't work with you anymore. It's like, why? Oh, well, there's a campaign online now to cancel you because you've been promoting this person who has been upsetting all these people and you're obviously his friend. It's like, I don't even know who this is. And they told me who it was. I look back and it's like, oh, yeah, I said thank you because he helped me out. But because I posted that, they cancelled it. I lost the book deal. The book never got made. But because I basically acknowledged this person's existence. And that was it. I didn't see anything else. I didn't get involved in anything, but just not acknowledging someone's existence was enough to get a book deal cancelled. And it was really weird. It was a weird experience. But again, it didn't really bother me because easy come, easy go. I never expected to have a book. It would have been lovely. I would never have in a million years imagined it ever happening. But it was, and I got to say the book company, the guy who runs it, he produces amazing books. Still produces them. I've bought a load. I still buy his books, even though I didn't get the deal myself because they're amazing. So but it's that's my only negative experience with social media. So how are you seeing this becoming a positive podcast segment?
Let's cheer up a bit. So earlier you said when we were talking about negatives about not going out, not making those connections and so on and so forth. Well, social media has been shown to help young people build community, an idea of who they are, get a better understanding of the world, stay connected, find peers, and start sharing experiences. And they have found that those that are non-problematic users, so those that use social media a lot, but not in a negative way, report stronger peer support and social connections online. And when it says about finding yourself, that's more to do with the fact of if you have a vague interest in, I don't know, say basketball, for example, but none of your mates like basketball, there's not a basketball club nearby, you can go on social media, find information about basketball, start watching videos about it, find groups online who are all talking about it, and this instantly ages me. They can then all be like, Michael Jordan is the best basketballer of all time.
I mean, my son, he got a successful music career out of his social media. How he was made friends online playing games. They getting a close bunch of friends. Some of them became successful YouTubers and streamers, and they introduced him to other people in that field, and that's how he got into music. That's how he got into a very successful band. My daughter, she's doesn't go out much. She's online, but when she does go out, she goes and spends weeks, if not months, overseas with friends that she's met online. She's experiencing things she would never have done unless she had been online. I know that when I suffered depression after I lost my mum and had a breakdown, it was a whole combination of things. There's so much support online. Helped that positive support from people I knew really helped me get through it.
Yeah.
And I for me, there's far more positives than negatives online.
Well, we'll look at the early days of our podcast because I had built up a community on TikTok, which was through the radio station that I did, which just happened to naturally build because every Wednesday I was doing the radio show, people would be on TikTok live and would interact. When we started the podcast, I started telling them, this is what I'm now doing. This is the new project. Go over there, follow this account. A lot of our early followers on social media, especially TikTok, were from that community. And when we do lives on the Boo-Foons account, a lot of those people from that community are now following us and are now listening to the podcast and being like, this is amazing. And some of them have actually said, love the podcast more than the radio that you did. However, the only bit that we miss is the fact that every Wednesday night we knew you were there at this time to talk to and chat to, and some music was playing in the background. So the only bit that they've said they miss is that constant interaction, but they still love the podcast and still listen to it to this day. And through social media, we've met people that we've collaborated with. That's a positive of social media. And a community that we have got on social media that's built around our podcast now. Well, the next positive I've got here, if you're ready
moderation.
For it, is actually representation and identity. Social media platforms offer more diverse voices and more representation for more groups of people than traditional media and tabloids and newspapers, which of course it does because it's worldwide.
Yeah. I tell you something, I've always thought that governments don't particularly like that, because how can you send kids to war against people they play games with and they know that are no different to themselves? And that, I think, is hard, which is why, why it's just natural for governments to want more control over your social media and what you see, because they don't want the kids growing up being friends with, playing games with people overseas, Estonians and Russians and Cubans and whoever it might be that they're playing games with, because one day we might want to go to war against them.
Yeah.
And they're like going to war against their best friends. It's amazing. But you're right. I mean, when I was playing online, when I went through really bad health scare, and I was unable to work for a few years because I had some medicine I was allergic to, I couldn't do anything because I would have reactions all the time. And the most comfortable thing I could do is just sit down and play games. And it got me through some really tough times. And I made friends all over the world playing Star Wars Galaxies. And the amount of people on that game who were there all the time, because again, they had major health problems and it was their life. And in the game, they could be, as, powerful and as rich and as healthy and, influential. They were mayors of towns and, guild leaders, and everybody looked up to them. But then you found out their true story, and they had serious health conditions. They were wheelchair bound. They couldn't leave the house. Yes, they had a business. And there was this one guy, I can't remember his name. That was so long ago. We're talking 20 years. But to be employed by him, he had his own business, but he was in a wheelchair. He was really quite sick, but he still went to work every day. And he made anybody who actually came to work with him, they all had to play Star Wars Galaxies during the working day. So they were all logged in. They were doing their work, but each one of them were logged in. They were all part of his guild, and they were his employees who were actually working there with him. And again, it's a social media, because it was conversations. Everybody became friends. You were friends inside of it and outside of it. Everybody looked after each other and supported each other. And it was the community, and a sense of community you would never have got, especially now when people are no one knows who their neighbor is, let alone developing any wider community than that. This is why people stay indoors and go online.
I say the infamous gamer Technoblade. Do you know the Technoblade story?
No. It's...
Prepare a tissue. He was a...
I'm going to get a drink as well. Hold a second. Yeah. Right, you carry on. You depress me. Go on.
He was a Minecraft YouTuber. Huge Minecraft YouTuber. Teenager. He played Minecraft, made videos. His skin became iconic. It was a pig with a crown. And he then started to reveal towards the end of his YouTube career that I believe it was cancer he had. But he had some form of illness and it was terminal. He knew he was going to die. And he lived out his last few days just playing Minecraft, making more videos for the community. And before he became that ill that he could no longer do it, he actually recorded a video for his fans, thanking them for the journey, saying how much he loved the support that they had, this, that, and the other. And he gave instructions to his dad not to release that video until he had gone. And then a year after his passing, his dad made this video that makes me cry every time I see it. And it keeps popping up on TikTok all the time. And his dad, that meme of, "Are you winning, son?" On his sort of birthday, his following birthday, his dad goes in with a birthday cake, knocks on Technoblade's door, goes, "Are you winning, son?" and walks down. His dad has gone onto his computer, got his Minecraft world open, and just puts the birthday cake down. And you can see the pain in the dad's face, and he just goes, "Love you, son." Yes. Have you seen the Minecraft movie?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, there's a scene, and it has gone viral. It is all over the internet. There's a scene where a pig walks through the village with a crown on,
Okay,
and the
that's cool.
people with Steve, Jack Black, goes, what's that? He goes, that, my friends, is a legend, and it's a reference to Technoblade.
Mhm.
Yeah. So again, that's a big community that was built up around
Yeah.
that and support, and it did get people talking about illnesses and that sort of thing. Like we've got friends of the podcast who we know who suffer from various things, and they play games, they listen to the podcast, they interact with us, and we know that they've got some really horrible lives going on behind the scenes, and they have that little bit of joy from what they do online.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? I mean, the social media, sometimes it's the only contact that some people will have. You know,
yeah,
if you can't leave the house because you're that ill, what you've got to realize if just somehow how isolating it would be without it.
yeah.
Even those negatives they talk about aren't that negative when the alternative is complete isolation.
Well, this next positive is a huge positive that you have had on social media. Creativity and self-expression. Social media
Mm.
provides outlets for creative expression, emotional processing, and storytelling. Now, obviously, you shared all of your amazing artwork, all of your um, teletext stuff on social media and grew a huge network.
I did. It was very good. Then I ran out of things to do. Teletext me. Anybody wants to see it? Wholesomeburger.co.uk. It's still there.
Yeah. And I believe one of our Patreon tiers is that you will create a custom teletext picture for
Oh
patrons.
yeah, that'd be great. I'd love to do that if we got any. I mean, look, the sheer talent we see on social media, and I say Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent are full of those talented individuals who they've now, rather than just asking the average person on the street to show us their wonderful talent, they're actually getting established talents from online to show. And some of the things they can do, some of the talents people have, which have been totally unknown. It's social media. It's far, far better. The positives are far better than the negatives. Far outweigh them.
Well, this final positive that I've got on this list comes from the NHS, of all people. Access to information and support. Social media can improve access to health information, lived experiences, and peer support. It can help bridge gaps in mental health services by offering peer-to-peer support and online community spaces.
And it is social media. I mean, look at the social media. Every year I do that walk for charity. It's the only time I walk. But it's, that all gets promoted on social media. And I've earned a couple of thousand, a few £1,000s for St. Luke's because of that.
Yeah.
And it's just, without social media, no one would have known. No one would have sponsored me. I do walk around the office and ask people to sponsor me to walk. They just look at me and laugh. They wouldn't believe for an instant I walked. Yeah, so no, that's why when you started off talking about social media, it's like automatically I get the defensive because it's just so easy to attack anything that it's all there using it's ulterior motives. Again, it's that thing of blaming films, books, TV, comics, whatever music. It's so easy to blame
That's why I
rather than
thought
to look where the true source is.
let's start with it. That's why I thought let's start with the negatives. Then we can then talk about the fact that actually it's not that bad, is it? There's a lot of positives out there. And like everything out there, the bad bits come from bad people using it to do bad things. However, a lot of things out there, like with society, we're told by the media constantly that all you've got to do is leave your front door and there's all these horrible bad people out there. Actually, there are an awful lot of good people out there. And actually, a majority of society are really good people. And unfortunately, media, social media, all of that focuses on the small amount of really horrible, negative people.
Well, media, especially because it's the direct competition to them.
Yeah.
If every established news article can be focused on how evil social media is, maybe it will go away. Maybe we'll be back to just being in charge again.
Yeah.
That's what it is. It's just, get rid of it. How can we get rid of it? Let's tell everybody it's just evil. Oh, this is where we need to get a VPN sponsorship. Everybody else seems to be doing it.
New VPN, Paddle Dolphin. After we've been two grumpy white blokes moaning about life and society.
Look, I don't identify as a grumpy white bloke. I
dread to think what you're about to say, especially the fact that this build-up is you giggling.
I'll leave it to your imagination, Dan. I'm not going to say anything because guaranteed it'll be cut anyway.
Oh. And on that note, join us on Wednesday for a mystery. Join us next Saturday for another episode of us talking about something random. Who knows what we're going to talk about next week? And as we've been talking lots about social media today, make sure that you are following us on all the social medias. And, if you are feeling generous, look at Patreon, subscribe on there, and you get loads of rewards, including, as discussed earlier, if you put on one of the tiers, you can get a teletext photo from Steve himself.
From me. And trust me, it will look just like you in 24 pixels and 8 colors, 6 colors. It would be just like a photo. Be able to use it as photo ID. When you have to prove your ID to go on social media, you can actually just put that scan up of that teletext picture of you, and they'll say, yes, that person's definitely over 18. And
talking about building a community, join our community on Discord. Link is in the description. You can also find it on our website, boofoods.co.uk. So you can join our community and talk to us on there. Tell us what you think about this episode.
Yeah, tell me that I shouldn't be saying the things I'm saying.
Yeah,
Dan tries, but I just ignore him.
Dan just has a lot of fun in editing, going, we'll keep that bit, we'll keep that bit.
We'll burn that bit.
That's the same bit that's the same bit that's already been mentioned, just worded differently. So we'll get rid of that bit because that's already been said. Yeah. Let's update the page of things that Steve now hates or people that hate Steve. Yes, so bye.
Bye.
Boo-Foons, mystery investigators.
Off the case.